Really, you set the standard pretty high, so I don't really want to do my speech anymore. But really, so we're finally here. And, you know, this day has felt so far away before. And it felt like just yesterday we were walking through those doors as freshmen for our orientation. Brooklyn Center is a very unique school. We're probably the only school in the whole state that has a system that holds a 6 through 12 education. And although sometimes, well, not really all the time, the hallways are overly crowded, the friendships and relationships are made closer here than any other school. I haven't heard of anyone anywhere else in this state knowing at least half of their remaining class, but here we know everybody in our class, everybody above, and everybody below. The bonds we create here are by far the strongest. After these last 4 years, we endured the school lunches, the anxiety that went through us when we rushed from one side of the school to the other just to get on class on time. And we pushed through those countless mile runs and pacer tests in gym class thanks to Miss Sinegar and Mr. Siebold. We got to try new sports and meet new teammates, and we met new teachers and faculty who had the passion to help us push us through life. As vanilla high school students, we always dreamt of growing up. We dreamt of getting our driver's license, and we dreamt of getting that first job interview. We wanted to be adults. We wanted more responsibility and freedom, and we wanted to move on from high school. And as today comes to an end, so does our high school career. We have all dreamt of this day to come. It feels like it came up on us way too early and way too fast, but now we look back on our lives and miss what we've had. It's ironic because this whole time we all wish to be sitting right here. But now that we're all actually here, you know, we wish we didn't have so many responsibilities. We wish we weren't going in debt if you're going to college next year with all these stupid student loans. And we actually sit here and dream that we want to be a kid again. Some of us actually regret not trying out for that sports team that one year or asking out that one crush we had during our homecoming. But I wish I would have actually listened to everybody telling me that, you know, to enjoy my childhood and to take my time, because they were right. Because the time is already gone before we know it. And if most of you actually didn't know, The Office is by far and will always be my favorite show. Check it out on Netflix, all 9 seasons are there. It kind of represents high school if you actually seen it, because, you know, you go into a place that you don't really want to go to every day for 8 hours a day with people you don't really, you know, comfortable with. But eventually when the relationships start to bloom and everything comes to an end, we all ask if it really does have to end. My favorite and most heartwarming quote from The Office is in the final season, in the last episode at minute 45:06. Andrew Bernard, who wishes throughout his entire time on the show that he were somewhere else, regrets that, you know, the time is coming to an end. And so he says, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days." And I'm sure most of us here are thinking the same thing. We must remember that this is not the end, but merely the beginning. And I know that's a pretty good cliche, but you know, it always works. We think of the ceremony as the end of an era in our lives, but it's also the transition to adulthood. High school was a tutorial to life, and if you messed up, you know, you can come back again and try the next day. We had people all around us who were passionate to ensure us that we were on the right track. And high school is by far probably one of the toughest times for most teenagers in America, but it gets us ready for what's to come. We develop skills and personalities and relationships and bonds that would always last. And some of us have already found ourselves as people, and the rest are still pursuing that path, and that's still okay. So I want everyone here to take this next statement here in with a purpose, whether you're a class of 2019, a student still in school, or a parent here to celebrate this wonderful day. These are the good old days. Not the future, not the past, but right now. Do not take things for granted, because eventually your life will change and things will all be different, because time just doesn't wait for anyone. So just remember that it's okay to sometimes stop and breathe and to enjoy the times that you're living right now. So class of 2019, here's what I ask from you. Don't dwell too much on the past or the future. Don't dwell too much on the test that you didn't pass the first time or the team that you didn't make. Because if you live life in the present, you will enjoy that these are the good old days. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew.